you did a mock draft for the Orange and Brown Report. I think it dropped today. So let's take a look
Yes.
at the first 3 Browns picks in these mock drafts that you did. So you have tight end Jatavian Sanders from Texas. Then you go with a couple of offensive linemen. Blake Fisher from Notre Dame at 85. Caden Wallace from Penn State at 156. Take us through the first 3 picks, what you like about them, why you think they fit.
Well, Sanders is a blast, right? He is a weapon immediately. Don't confuse him he's not an inline tight end, right? Like he's not a good run blocker, flat out. That's not what you're drafting. When you're drafting him, you're drafting a weapon, right? And we know that Dorsey likes to run some 12 personnel, so does Stefanski, and I think they'll still do it out of the spread. And this is ideal for him. He is just another guy that will create a ton of mismatch options. You can imagine him and Chief on the field at the same time, spread out a little bit. One of them spread out a little bit, Sanders probably. But he just he gets open. He runs good routes. He's terrific in traffic. His hands are fantastic. He's just a weapon. And you're adding you basically, instead of a wide receiver here, he basically is a wide receiver, but he plays the tight end role, and he adds another dimension to this offense that is very, very difficult to cover and defense against, and he just will create a ton of issues for defenses and opens up a ton of stuff they can do offensively with guys like Chief and him. Love him as a weapon offensively, playmaker, big time. Blake Fisher, I think, is one of the more NFL-ready tackles in the draft. The size, the strength, he understands the game. He understands angles. He will, of course, need to go through that transition. But this is a good tackle class, and I think if he is there at 85, as he was in this simulation, they would be running the card to the podium because in my opinion, he's a starting left tackle or right tackle for as long as you need him to be. And with Wills, Conklin making their exit after this year, he's your succession plan there, in my opinion, and he's a good one. Caden Wallace is a tackle who will be a guard at the NFL level. Big, strong guy. Not going to play tackle like he did in college, but he can play guard at the NFL level, and the Browns need one there too because Batonio is going to hang him up one of these days. At the end of any one of these years, we don't know totally what Tretter's future is going to be. So, it's not Tretter, Teller's future is going to be. So, Caden, Wallace, at Penn State, is a guard that I think, with a year of coaching under his belt, could be ready to step in for Batonio if you needed one. There are guys on the roster that provide good depth right now, but none of them are of the athleticism that this kid is and have the ceiling that he has. So you're kind of drafting, in my opinion here, your succession plan. And I think that's probably one of the more critical things they do in this draft is prepare for the transition at offensive line.